Story time with Cherry Mahogany. Real life stories with a message at the end. This story is about my real life warning from a voodoo high priest. When I was 18 years old, I went to get my very first tattoo. Right here. It's a cherry. So I'm in the tattoo parlor by myself, and an older white man enters. He had a cane. He looked like he was about 85 or 90 years old. But in our conversation, he did tell me he was only in his 50s. He was covered in tattoos from the top of his head all the way down to his legs. He looked skinny and sickly, and he was also waiting in the dimly lit tattoo parlor while I was waiting for the tattoo artist to do my tattoo. So we're both sitting in this tattoo parlor, and he starts a conversation with me. He starts the conversation with asking, how many tattoos do I have? And I told him, this is my very first tattoo. So he tells me that he has his whole body done. But he was looking at me with a strange look on his face. And then he says to me that he's suffering from a lot of sicknesses. And he gave me a word of advice. He told me that the majority of his life he spent living in Haiti, in the hills. He was a voodoo high priest. He told me people would come to him and pay him to put curses on their enemies. But he warned me at 18 years old. He warned me. He said, one thing you have to remember. If you ever curse someone, it will come back to you threefold. I wasn't in the business of cursing people. I'm not into witchcraft. But I do understand that there is different forms of cursing people or putting a curse on somebody. Basically, his warning was, if you're going to put it out there, expect to get it returned back to you. So I'm sending this video out almost 30 years later. I'm making this video to share with the world. Anyone who's involved in any kind of witchcraft, voodoo, Santeria, Obia, any of this Wicca, anything that has to do with cursing other people. It's demonic and it's evil, obviously. But just know, from the words of a voodoo high priest himself, who was suffering horrendous physical pain, and I'm sure based on how he looked then, he's no longer alive. But from his mouth to your ears, beware. Everything you put out will come back to you threefold. But the Bible also tells us something. It says, touch not his anointed. I truly believe that for those witches and warlocks and people that consult them to hurt, curse, vex, hex, vex God's children, woe unto you. You're playing a very dangerous game when you play with God's children. So I just wanted to share that story and advise anyone who's watching, hold on to God. Hold on to the hand of Christ. Hold on to the light. Stay in the light. Walk in the light. Don't have any partaking with darkness. Don't have any partaking with wickedness. And do not curse anyone. If someone hurts you or you feel injured by someone, one of the hardest things to do is to forgive them and allow God to handle it. Witchcraft is when the person says they're going to do it themselves. They're going to take matters into their own hands, and they consult the dark side to do their bidding. It's wicked, and there are consequences. Consequences that you may not see in your life, but it could fall on your children or your loved ones. So I just wanted to share that with you and encourage anyone and everyone that's listening. Jesus loves you. Stay with Christ, stay in the light, and avoid the darkness. Thank you for watching.